It is Friday. Happy Friday, March 22nd, and the Splash Zone is back in your life. I am Matt Modine, and I'm here to give you my 3 favorite NBA player props for tonight's NBA betting slate. Of course, before we can get into today, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which continued our streak. We are now in the green 6 straight days after yesterday. Mainline plays that I gave out went 3-1 yesterday. Of course, we lost Sabonis, who screwed us for the second day in a row. But we cashed Paolo Banchero over 1.5 made 3-pointers. We cashed DeJounte Murray over 25.5 points. And we cashed Nikola Vucevic over 11.5 rebounds. 3-1 on mainline plays yesterday, up 1.85 units. Ladder plays, unfortunately, were not as successful. I gave out 4 ladder plays. We got 1 of those 4 to cash, down 0.3 units yesterday on ladder plays. And I got to say, it really hurts what happened with the ladder plays yesterday. I had DeJounte Murray 30-plus points. He had 29. I had DeJounte Murray for a triple-double at plus 1,600 odds, and he landed 1 rebound short. Double hooked on ladder plays for DeJounte Hurts, but still a really good day overall. That now brings our entire profit on the season. We are up 81.65 units on our mainline plays. We got over the 80-unit mark of profit, which is amazing. Very happy for that. And then on ladder plays, we are up 5.67 units since I started tracking them, which was on February 24th. Admittedly, on a little bit of a cold streak with ladder plays specifically, but luckily the mainline plays have been good enough that we've still been in the green. As I mentioned, for today, I'm going to have 3 picks for you guys. I do want to preface that there's a lot of injury news as of this morning, so I was able to find 3 plays that I liked. And over the course of the day, I'm very likely to add more plays, at least 1. So I would recommend following me on Twitter if you are not already. And then I'll also put the plays out on Dub Club as well, which I'll get into at the end of the video. But enough of that. You're only as good as your most recent banger. So let's hope we can have another good day today. I would love to make it 7 straight profitable days in a row. First up, 76ers versus Lakers game. I'm taking Anthony Davis over 38.5 points plus rebounds. This is at minus 111 odds at FanDuel. I get that this is a high number for Anthony Davis, the 38.5 points plus rebounds. This is a number that he's only cashed in 2 of his last 10 games. So we'll go ahead and call this the Pepto play of the day because it's going to feel a little bit gross, make your stomach feel queasy. But that also means we get an excellent opportunity to fade recent results with this play here. The reason why I like this play is because with the injuries that the Sixers have had, they're allowing just ridiculous performances specifically to centers, right? They're so banged up, mostly Embiid, but their center rotation is either they're going small with Batum at the 5, or they're playing Paul Reed or Mo Bamba at the 5. And I like Paul Reed. He's a role player. I like Mo Bamba as a person. He's not a good basketball player, but AD is going to have his way with the center matchup on the Sixers tonight. I like both his points and rebounds individually. Obviously, because of that, I felt it was safer to combine them because he could get 20 rebounds. In this one, he could also score 30 points. So combining the 2, I thought was the way to go. So the Sixers have allowed 7 straight centers to go over their point plus rebound over under, right? This is per props.cash, who will allow you to look at how defenses perform against certain positions with certain stats as well. And again, 7 straight have cashed their over points plus rebounds number. And a lot of them were crushing either the points or the rebounds individually, sometimes both. Nurkic had 14 rebounds on an over-under of 11.5. Bam had 13 rebounds on an over-under of 10.5. And then from a points perspective, they gave up 19 points to Brook Lopez on an over-under of 13.5. Overall, 6 of the last 7 centers have cashed their point total specifically against the Sixers. So the one guy that cashed his over P plus R, but not his points, was Yusuf Nurkic, who had 10 points on an over-under of 11.5, but again, had 14 rebounds. Anthony Davis, it's always a little bit scary relying on him because he can be so unreliable from a scoring perspective. But generally, he gets flustered on teams that are able to play him aggressively and are able to match him physically with size as well, which is just not something that the Sixers are able to do. And that's kind of why I like for AD to have a bunch of points tonight. And then in terms of rebounding, the Sixers have been the second worst rebounding team in the entire NBA over the past 10 games. I could see, again, Anthony Davis collecting 20 rebounds in this one, probably getting 3 to 5 on the offensive glass just from putbacks because the Sixers can't rebound. So combining the 2, I love this play for Anthony Davis tonight. Let's hope he comes through for us. Next up, our second play. This is in the Pacers versus Warriors game, and I'm taking Steph Curry over 27.5 points minus 105 odds. This one is best offered at DraftKings. It's kind of funny. You wouldn't think that the Pacers would be a good matchup specifically for someone like Steph. When you think of guys who score a bunch of points against the Pacers, it's guys that aggressively attack the rim, right? That score a ton in the paint. But if you dig into the numbers, the Pacers are actually a very good, one of the best matchups, specifically for Steph Curry and how he scores. Courtside Pal, which looks at a player's scoring profile and where they take shots from against where the defenses allow points and shots from. According to Courtside Pal, the Pacers are listed as giving up the fourth most points per game specifically to Steph's shooting profile, and literally the most points per game when you look at Steph's scoring profile, So the fourth most to his shooting, the most to his scoring, and the most points per game to his playmaking style as well. And when you dig into the numbers, it starts to make a little bit more sense. You can't just look at surface volume because the Pacers give up a ton at the rim and they don't give up a ton of three-pointers. But basically how the Pacers give up a lot of points is exactly how Steph Curry scores, which I can get into. So the Pacers allow the third most points per game to players off screen. That's exactly what the Warriors do. They run Clay and they run Steph off a ton of screens. Steph scores the second most points specifically on the Warriors off screens. But the reason why I like Steph instead of Clay is because the Pacers will run you off the three-point line. So they'll allow guys to run off screens, but they won't allow them to shoot three-pointers off screens. Instead, they'll just run them off the three-point line, and then Steph can drive, get a layup, get a floater, get a mid-range, something like that. So that's kind of how Steph scores, or how I envision Steph scoring off screens against the Pacers. The Pacers are also allowing the second most points per game, specifically off of dribble handoffs, and Steph scores the fourth most points per game in the entire NBA off dribble handoffs. So he scores the second most points in the entire NBA, not just on the Warriors, but on the entire NBA off screen, and the fourth most in the entire NBA off dribble handoffs. Admittedly, Steph doesn't do a ton of isolation, but he does score the most ISO points on the Warriors, and the Pacers are allowing the most points via isolation in the NBA. Steph also scores the most points on the Warriors via drives, and that's another area in which the Pacers defense is weak. Unfortunately, I can't look specifically at how much points they give up via drives. I don't know why that stat's not available, but you can look at isolation and other stats to kind of assume and guess that they're bad via drives as well. So Steph has played now 3 games since he returned from that minor ankle injury. He scored 31 in his first game back, but he's now missed it in 2 straight games. Another opportunity where we get to fade those recent results. Last game, Steph only scored 14 points, but he only played 24 minutes and he only attempted 9 shots because that game ended up, it was a gross game against the Grizzlies. That's going to be a different story tonight. And I will admit that the Pacers defense has been better recently, but the last time these two teams played, Steph put up 42 points. Let's hope he can at least get a little bit close to that, cashing our main line and our ladder play. That's our second pick of the evening. Third and final pick, we're sticking in the same game, Pacers-Warriors, and I'm taking Miles Turner over 1.5 made three-pointers, plus 146 odds at FanDuel. So the Warriors defense over the past 10 games, they've sneakily been giving up a lot of three-pointers, but they've been giving up a lot of catch-and-shoot three-pointers, and they've been giving up a lot of those catch-and-shoot opportunities to be from above the break. They don't give up a lot of pull-up threes, and they don't give up a lot of corner threes either. The areas in which they're giving up a lot of three-pointers, again, catch-and-shoot and above the break. And to highlight those numbers a little bit, again, over the last 10 games, the Warriors are allowing the third most catch-and-shoot three-point attempts in the NBA. They're also allowing the 6th most above the break three-point attempts as well, and the 3rd most made three-pointers above the break. Now to turn this over to Miles Turner, he is making the most catch-and-shoot three-pointers for the Pacers on the 2nd most attempts, and he is also making the most above the break three-pointers on the Pacers, also on the 2nd most attempts. So he's making the most both catch-and-shoot and above the break, 2 areas in which the Warriors defense is weak. I also like the fact that the Warriors, they're leaving a ton of guys wide open from three-point range. Literally over the past 10 games, they are allowing the highest frequency of three-point attempts be considered open. Now, NBA defines open as between 4 to 6 feet of space. So wide open is a different category. So they're not leaving guys wide open, but they are leaving them open. Literally almost 20% of the three-point attempts that the Warriors give up are considered open. No other team is above 18%. And then Turner, if you look at his past 10 games, he's shown the ability to burn teams that give up a lot of catch-and-shoot opportunities, which makes sense when you consider the numbers. So yes, he's only gone over in 4 of his last 10 games. Look at the 4 games he went over. 3 of them are very juicy catch-and-shoot above the break three-point opportunities. He made 5 against the Bulls, who are literally like the biggest defense, the biggest, best matchup when it comes to catch and shoot. He made 4 against the Spurs, and he made 2 against the Thunder. And you wouldn't consider it, but the Thunder are actually one of the worst defenses as well at giving up catch and shoot opportunities. He also made 2 against the Cavaliers. He always makes 2 against Jarrett Allen. Last time Miles Turner played the Warriors, he made 2 3-pointers. He went 2 of 5 from deep. I would take that exact stat line in this one. Let's hope Miles Turner comes through for us. And that's all we got. 3 bangers for you guys to lock in. Remember to like the video, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Remember to check me out on Twitter because I will be posting plays over the course of the day. And then the last thing that I mention it at the end of every video, is I do have a Dub Club. So it's only $5 a month. And the way it works is all the plays you see me give out for free, either on YouTube or on Twitter, I also send out on Dub Club. I send them out immediately on Dub Club so you can get them before the odds change. And there are some people that want to tail the picks that don't have time to watch the YouTube videos, or they just don't care about the YouTube videos, or some people that they are willing to watch the videos, but by the time they watch them, the odds change. So those 3 reasons are the reasons why I came up with the Dub Club. I'm only charging $5 a month because I recognize you could get everything for free. So whether you want to pay the $5 to get them early, get them sent immediately to your phone, so it's kind of an easy way to do that, or you want to pay the best price of free, get them on YouTube and Twitter, totally fine with me as well. And that's all we got. Appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.